Well, I would add to that. Like, I do want to make billions, and I'm very passionate about it. But the reason is not so that I could buy yachts. The reason is so that I could do more powerful things, more meaningful things, for my life, and that's the real reason. So even for you, that's the reason that you want to make money. That's the reason why most people want to make money, to get to their goals. It's not you get over buying this shit. I literally thought about this, Ryan. It's so crazy. I look at your Instagram, I look at my Instagram. You're such a profound guy. We're talking about, learning here. You've obviously worked on your life for probably over a decade. I've been working on my life for the last couple of years, and we've got results, and we're both successful. And if you looked at my Instagram like 2 months ago, as before I started, wanting to start a channel and build a brand, I didn't
Yeah.
have these professional photos. I was not putting in any effort into my Instagram or my Facebook or anything like that. Like, my Instagram looked like that of like a 18-year-old student or something. And if you see some of these Instagram guys that have these impressive Instagrams and the pictures and the
Yeah.
the cars and all that, and the distinction between what I want to talk about is the distinction between looking successful and being successful, right? So
Yep. Yeah.
people are gonna probably, I'm gonna tag this video onto my Instagram saying I interviewed this guy who's a successful guy, in business. I'm gonna tag them, people, and I'll tag your profile, and people are gonna open your profile and be like, okay, this profile doesn't look, that fancy, that great. Yeah, success is not that fancy. It's not that great. Here's Ryan Payne with under, like $1 billion under management. He's as successful as one can get. And it's not about, so people get confused between there are people on these social media that look rich. There are guys
Yeah.
that will just rent the Lambos and they'll just take pictures and they'll just look rich, versus this is what actual rich looks like. This is what actual success
Yeah.
looks like. Guys like you who are sitting in their office, nothing fancy, just working, just grinding, man. That this is real work. I mean, if you were putting in effort into your Instagram account, or just to show that glamour, then you probably wouldn't. Like, Warren Buffett doesn't have a great Instagram, or like a
90, he has
fancy
not
office.
embraced Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, not just Warren Buffett, but and any person like that, like, they don't have fancy offices. They don't have. I mean, some people do, but
Yeah.
I guess my point is that there is a distinction between looking successful and looking, rich, and then actually going after it the way you're going after it. And I want to encourage people to actually go after it, and not just look rich. Don't just take a picture with the Lambo. I mean, have enough money to be able to buy 4 Lambos and then not even buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That's
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to say and make a point about.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that actual saying, like, have the money to buy it, but don't buy it. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is kind of like, right, it's the superficial. I'm rich. I'm like just spending all my money, which you might not even have anyway. Or these people like maybe even renting their Lambo. But I think, again, I think it just comes down to what's the idea, what's the goal of money. And to me, the goal of money is to give you freedom. And to me, freedom is not having a Lambo. And for some people it is, in all fairness, it might be. To me, it's just like, I just want to do what I want to do on my terms, right? I like, I want to be with my schedule the way I want to do it. If I don't want to do something, then I'm not going to do it. And for the most part, like, that's kind of where my schedule is today, right? Like, I'm doing the things I do are a pain in the ass, but I like doing them. Like, I actually I like doing my podcast every week. It's a lot of fun. I do it with my brother and my dad. Like, that's something like, I'm going to think about forever, like it's so much fun. And, like those things I would do, whether I was working or I wasn't working. But, I have the money and the time where I can invest and do these things. And actually the nice thing is they do, that the marketing stuff I do does actually produce cash flow as well, which is cool. But I think but also too, like there's we always say that we delineate between old money and new money. New money is a bit more flashy. You get like a lot more of the fancy things, but like old money is very, very subtle. A lot of times old money, you don't know people have money. And I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do it, but to your point, you got to be a little bit suspect when someone's flashing their cash. That's like, and a lot of times that's not indicative of that they have money. It might be that they're like, don't have any money at all. And there's an old saying in the US, you have the millionaire next door. there's a lot of wealthy people in the US that like, or could be very blue collared, very unpolished. You won't even know. It's interesting. I have a lot of clients that are super wealthy, but you would never know they have money. And I think there's a lot more of that. If you were to look on a percentage basis, and because it's not flashy, we don't realize that's like where real wealth is. So I think that's a really good point. And it's something to be cognizant of as you see all the things the consumer culture and the Instagram and all the fancy shit that gets, flossed in front of us all the time.